second game we'll discuss. Chiefs, Titans 27, Chiefs 3. Yes, Chiefs scored 3 points. Patrick Mahomes left the game late with what seems like a concussion.
He was cleared. No concussion.
Okay, no concussion. Outside of the injury late, he's broken. And I don't know, like, you could there's some things you can throw out there. Like, the offensive line was very bad. Like, the Titans, and I'm not taking anything away from the Titans. We'll talk about them in a second. The offensive line was bad. Patrick Mahomes does kind of have to do it all with their defense. Mm-hmm. Like, you know that you have to be perfect. So I think there's that extra pressure. But throw that aside, like, he does not look like Patrick Mahomes. He misses throws. He's not seeing things the same way. Like, he's throwing it behind guys. He fumbles, interceptions. Like, it's not good. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that he sucks, but it's definitely
bust. Is he a bust, Big Cat?
We're in that weird spot where it's like, if you are saying that Patrick Mahomes sucks, you're an idiot.
Yep.
But if you're saying Patrick Mahomes is totally fine and it will, like, there's nothing wrong, you're also an idiot.
This was the game where I was like, things will correct themselves. I thought it was going to be a letdown game for the Titans because they had that big win against the Bills.
Correct.
And I felt like this was also a little bit because of last week the Chiefs played against the Washington football team, which is great if you need to get your offense back on the right track. And so I felt like this was going to be a game where the Chiefs would come out and look like the Chiefs, and they don't look like the Chiefs at all. There's something wrong. I personally think I have a very easy problem that I've found with the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think they're weak.
Yeah.
Physically.
They're soft.
Physically, I think that they need to hit the weight room.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a problem that the Chiefs have right now that can't be resolved by just lifting more weights, because I feel like they're not a strong football team. They get pushed around a lot. Their linemen aren't great blockers right now.
No, they've got, like, this is the game that you're right. Like, it was coming into this game, it was like the Chiefs are going to win this game, and then everyone's going to be like, the Chiefs are fine. We're going out of this game being like, the Chiefs are not fine. They're broken. They're 3-4, and oh yeah, like, next week they play Monday Night Football against the Giants, who, you know, who knows? The Giants can do anything, and they can also lose by 1 million. But then they have a 3-week stretch where they play the Packers, at the Raiders, and the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. So we could be sitting here in 4 weeks, in a month's time, and be like, hey, the Chiefs are 5-6, and like, what's going on?
It'd be crazy if we get a graphic for the playoff picture and the Chiefs aren't in the hunt. That we could be looking at a world where the Bengals are they're getting a bye,
right?
And then the Chiefs aren't in the hunt.
It's crazy, this was the first game because we've all watched it, and I think because the Chiefs are so explosive and they've been so incredible to watch the last few years, you just expect, we've talked about it before, the touchdown play. You expect the touchdown play to happen. You expect them to figure it out. You expect them to just start firing down the field, and it's like, oh, they scored in 45 seconds. It's just not there right now.
I actually think that if the Chiefs and the Lions were to trade coaches, do wife swap for a week, and they'd bring in Dan Campbell just to put him through practice this week, the Chiefs would go out there and light it up.
Yeah.
They need to get tougher. They need to get stronger.
So Patrick Mahomes had 67 yards and 0 points in the first half. Mm-hmm. Like, that's crazy. And when you look at the Chiefs, like, who they have played, because I think we're getting fooled a little bit by these games because they beat the Eagles team, which is a mess. They beat the Washington football team, which is a mess. And they beat the Browns week 1, who, remember, the Browns kind of bullied them, and they were able to win that game. But whenever they have to play, like, a good team from the AFC, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Titans, the Bills, they've gotten exposed.
Mm-hmm. I think that obviously give credit to the Titans, and Vrabel has done something.
Oh, yeah, the Titans were incredible.
He's he's a very low-key dark arts coach guy. So, like, he knows how to push the right buttons at the right time. You can tell that his players know when to, like, fake an injury at just the right exact time so that they can get, like, a couple more seconds to review a play they might want to challenge, and then they're totally fine after they take a look at it. That happened today on an A.J. Brown catch. Like, Mike Vrabel does weird shit like that.
It's Belichick.
As good. Yeah. It goes back to that playoff game where they just went back and forth finding, like, a hole in time, or they, like, discovered 30 seconds out of thin air. Vrabel is a really smart guy. He gets a rap as being, like, you know, meathead head coach because he is, but he's also
said he would cut his dick off.
He's also a very smart meathead head coach.
Yes. No, and the Titans deserve a ton of credit. Their defense was great. Their defensive line was awesome on Sunday. Like, they weren't even blitzing. They were just beating the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And the Chiefs' offensive line's a problem, but the Titans deserve credit because every time we talk about the Titans, we're like, but their defense. Well, their defense showed up, and also they're like the scariest team in the world to have to come back against, because that second half they were just running Derrick Henry and getting like first downs, and then every now and then okay, we'll just run play action and hit AJ Brown, who was awesome. And there's nothing you can do when you're down against them.
Derrick Henry with an all-time bad read at quarterback, though.
Oh yeah, but
Ryan
it still
Tannehill was
works.
wide open. They had another guy in the corner who was wide open. He went with his first read. Got to get through the progressions a little bit faster, Derrick. When he throws a football, it looks like he's throwing a Twix. That's how small it looks in his hand. It doesn't look natural. It's like, well, that's just a giant throwing a football. But yeah, Derrick Henry. We keep waiting for Derrick Henry to slow down. I don't think he's going to slow down.
He didn't have 100 yards today, but he was still effective. And yeah, Derrick Henry had more touchdown passes than Patrick Mahomes today.
The Chiefs
that's the dumbest thing in the world.
The Chiefs called a sad field goal.
Yeah, well, so
it was kind of sad.
No, it wasn't. So
it was pretty sad.
It wasn't sad because it was in the third quarter, and it was the start of the third quarter, and also the math actually makes sense. I think a sad field goal has to be in the fourth quarter or down by like 40 plus.
They were down what, 20?
27-0.
27-0.
So they scored. They kicked a field goal to be down 3 touchdowns in 2-point conversion.
It's kind of sad.
It was 10 minutes.
I rank it like a 4 out of 10.
It was 10 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So it was just the start of the third quarter. So I don't think that's not sad territory yet. Like that was enough possessions where you could be like, oh yeah, all right, the Chiefs, they could score some touchdowns, 2-point conversions. That could work.
Travis Kelce had a great rugby offload in this game. I've been telling you the last couple weeks, Travis Kelce is looking to pitch the ball back all the time when he catches it about 7 to 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. And it was a sick pass. It was like a fucking laser beam out to the sideline.
He's also going to fumble doing it because he tried to do it later on in the game, and it was almost a fumble.
Well,
that's definitely going to happen.
Travis Kelce definitely starts feeling himself a little bit. He's he is the guy that's like, remember, it's National Tight End Day.
Yes.
Which, can I permission to go there?
Yeah.
I'm done with National Tight End Day.
Whoa. Wow, George Kittle's gonna be very upset.
I love Kittle.
No, you don't. It's his project.
Is it really?
Yes.
I think he would even he would be embarrassed by how much shine and spotlight the tight ends are getting today.
I think that was the whole point.
Get back to the basics.
I think that's why they did it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you can't go around inventing holidays for yourself.
It is a little ridiculous that people
When's National Podcaster Day? Because to be fair, I will make a giant deal out of that.
I walked in and Stephen Che, our coworker, was like, "Hey, just so you know, it's National Tight End Day." I was like, one, I did know, and two, are we supposed to say something?
It's a classic Stephen Che.
Yeah.
Like he could get really into that. He'd probably order a commemorative shirt a month in advance so it would arrive by National Tight End Day.
Yeah.
And like pick it out just to wear today. Come on, let's go, Cam Brate.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not going to say anything because it's our friend Kittle's creation. So I support our friends.
Well, I'll be the bad guy. I support our friends too.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yes,
I do.
Sounds like it.
I love Kittle. I just think that
Do you really love him?
At some point, you gotta work under cover of darkness too.
What do you say, Billy?
They should just make it National Blocking Tight End Day.
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just blocking tight end.
Listen,
If you catch balls, that's
Yeah, Kelsey's basically a wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. Billy will tell you
Blocking
the special forces work in silence. They don't need credit, right, Billy?
Yes. The Chiefs are broken. Like they're broken. If you think otherwise, you're deluding yourself. Because like I said, if you just go through their schedule and who they've played 4 of the outside of the Bengals, who are the best team in the AFC right now. I'll say it again. They've played the next 4 best teams in the AFC, you'd say, right? Like the Ravens, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Titans are those next 4. They lost to all of them. So it's a real problem. Go ahead.
Some people want the Chiefs to be your new pinky team.
No, absolutely not. That's
a terrible idea.
I mean, no, absolutely not.
That is an
I have a
awful
pinky team. They're the Colts. I'm not. That would be insanity.
Be ballsy.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He would personally just be the best player of all time. I mean, I do like that everyone's like, oh, Patrick Mahomes, he's a bust now.
He's a big time bust. They're going to trade him. The Chiefs, a lot of Chiefs fans today were tweeting trade
that
Mahomes.
Contract?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's going to hamstring you for a while.
That's a lot.
Plus, his brother does the TikTok dances and stuff. You got to trade a guy like that.
Yeah, but seriously, the next 4 games for the Chiefs, if they lose to the Giants, then I think I'm gonna officially say that they're done.
Mm-hmm. I would do ridiculous things just to get Patrick Mahomes on my team. Let's be clear. He's still awesome. I would personally film all of Jackson Mahomes' TikTok dances for the next 5 years just to have Patrick Mahomes on my team.
Hank, does this make you happy? All this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because people were anointing the Chiefs the next great dynasty in the AFC.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it all comes back to Tom, Tom is just the
Tom
dynasty
broke-
destroyer.
Yeah.
He is.
Wouldn't that be Eli?
Eli is 1. Tom's broken like 10.
I have a feeling that
He has broken like a few teams. The Falcons never been the same.
There's so many teams that without Tom Brady,
Yeah.
they think they would have had 4 championships. The
Yeah, I
Chiefs,
guess the Chiefs,
without
yeah.
Tom Brady should have 3.
my
Right?
theory
Yeah,
is
that is true. That is true.
Tom Brady is going to play until Arch Manning gets to the NFL just so he can beat him
And then
as
just
payback against
call it a
Eli.
day.
Yeah, and be like,
Walk
okay,
off that
yes,
game.
done it.
Yeah.